Let me tell you a story. It has been said by Kung Fu legends that one day we are destined to see a dragon warrior rise up and become the ultimate source of peace in the valley to protect us from any and all dangers. But never before had we ever seen a panda take up this title or even dream of taking this title. But then Kung Fu Panda has happened, and Po just might be the laziest and clumsiest panda in the Valley of Peace. But he secretly dreams of becoming a Kung Fu legend in the history of Kung Fu, in the history of legends, in the history of China. But when the villainous snow leopard Tai Lung threatens Po's homeland, the hapless panda is chosen to fulfill an ancient prophecy in the history of prophecies and defend the valley from attack. Training under Master Shifu or Sushi, whichever is easier for you to say. Yeah, very much. Po embarks on an epic, high-kicking adventure as he sets out to thwart Tai Lung's evil plans. It has been brought up from time and time again that DreamWorks Animation primarily tells stories about purpose, potential, and or prejudice. Everyone before and after legend has it would either have one or all of these themes. But then Kung Fu Panda happened, and the three balance each other out better than the average Yin Yang according to legends. Kung Fu Panda's examination of purpose, potential, and prejudice are all displayed through the direction, Po's character arc, and the philosophical messages courtesy of Master Oogway and Master Shifu. I will start by stating the obvious that the Kung Fu Panda franchise delivers some of the most fluid Kung Fu action in the history of Kung Fu in any series ever. And we have been blessed with nothing but pure awesomeness that would only simultaneously progress with the series to come. In addition to the awesomeness, the series has given us some awe-inspiring moments amidst the highs and the lows of the panda's journey. Enter Po, voiced to perfection by Jack Black. Po is possibly the most relatable PO-tagonist to ever exist in the history of PO-tagonists that DreamWorks has to offer. From the moment we see him in the real world, we know that he will be easier to resonate with than being sympathetic towards, but not for the reasons that are obvious. As an audience, we resonate with Po because of how he fanboys over the Furious Five and Jack Black's manic energy over the mic. Just listen to him. Crane, monkey, viper, mantis, tigeress. So, this makes it effortless to sympathize with him, not because of the panda's weight or appetite, or amateur nature, but because of his inexperience, self-image, self-doubt, and the prejudice he receives from the Furious Five, Shifu, and simply every villager ever. Po says it better when he shares that nothing has ever brought him more pain in life than just existing. Even when you threw a brick at this head or said that I had bad odor, it would hurt. But it would never hurt as much as it did in my life just being me. So this quote is one that screams, I have no purpose in life, which leads into my next point. Master Shifu has sought out potential in each of his students, including Tai Lung, but Tai Lung has lost his potential for greatness due to what Oogway had foresaw. He had foreseen something, some dark force, kind of like how you see a disturbance in the Force in the Master of the Jedi. Ever since, he has been hard on the Furious Five and has trained them each well into their best of their abilities. Their potential for being the greatest warriors in all of China, in the history of Kung Fu, in the history of warriors, in the history of fighters, were only to help aid the dragon warrior in combat. Unfortunately, Shifu is skeptical towards Po for being the dragon warrior for the same reasons that the Five resent him. Just false presumptions and pure prejudice. In spite of the spark that Oogway knew was lit when the sparks of fireworks went off, Shifu just refuses to believe in the one thing that best represents Kung Fu or just China as a whole. So, it was because of Shifu's faith in Tai Lung that he became just as powerful as he did, And the same faith he poured into Tai Lung is the same faith that he pours into Po. The lesson he gets out of it is not the lack of having faith, but the lack of having faith in the right individual. Legend has it that if you have faith in the very perfect individual, in the one that has the heart, and the passion, and the soul, they will go on to bring peace to everybody they encounter. And that's me. That's the panda. Oogway believes that it is more important to grant unlimited power to somebody with a passion for power instead of just having a thirst for raw power. Now, if Po believed he was the dragon warrior early on, then his passion would naturally outshine his power level because he admired being a part of this world before he was given such a title. But when all is dealt with, when all is said, skadoosh, he has fulfilled his purpose as the dragon warrior to keep the peace in the valley and bring peace to Master Shifu, but Po has yet to fulfill his purpose, which leaves room for the rest of the journey to fill in 2 and 3. So, Rotten Tomatoes gives it an 87% recommendation, and legend has it that 87% of critics that recommend Kung Fu Panda will go on to be dragon warriors themselves. Subliminal and sensational. In the history of sensation, in the history of subliminal messages, Kung Fu Panda is pure pandemonium with its awesome kung fu action, uncanny voiceover performances, and an inspirational embrace on prejudice, potential, purpose, and passion. It deserves, Kung Fu Panda deserves a 9 out of 10, 9 SOs out of 10 for being awesome, epic, and of course, pure pandemonium. That is everything your boy has to say about Kung Fu Panda. Until next time, the Dragon Warrior says, skadoosh!